Hi, here is another strategy you can use to trade boom and crash, but as for this strategy, it only works on boom 300 and crash 300, so make sure that you use it on these indices alone. And one last thing, this strategy actually does repaint, so if you're looking for something non-repainting, something you can rely on, you can check out some of my indicators on my online shop. So the link to my online shop will be in the description. So without wasting any of your time, let's begin. So what is this strategy? How does it work? Okay, so this strategy is actually a little bit similar to the previous strategy I just posted recently, but let's check it out. So this strategy as well uses of about 3 indicators. So the first one being the average directional movement index, and these are the parameters. Okay, and the second indicator is actually the moving average, and these are the parameters over here. Finally, the last indicator is the market facilitation index, and these are the parameters. So the only thing you have to change is these two. So the MFI up should be black and the MFI down should be black. Then these two ones on the middle should be white or to the color of your chart. So my chart color is white, and that is why it's white. And finally, you're going to have something which looks like this. Okay, so now how do you use the strategy to trade? So when it comes to this strategy, it works best when you're trading against spikes, but if you want, you can use it to catch spikes. So let's first begin with the trading against spikes. So when it comes to this strategy, the only thing you have to wait for is only one condition which is supposed to be met. And what condition is that? Well, let's try to find that condition. Okay, but before you find that condition, let's first talk about zoom level. So what is the best zoom level? So the best zoom level is the third or the second. So based on what zoom level you are using, okay, it's going to affect the performance or the success rate. Let us say you like to trade against spikes. This is crash 300, by the way. So what you're going to do is that you're going to wait for the moving average, which is in the ADX, okay, to be below the 15 level. So the 15 level is actually here, which is the 15.0. Okay, so that's the first condition. Then the second condition is that I'm sure you can see these long lines and the shorter ones. Let me just point for them at you. So I'm talking about these lines. So this one like is a long one. These ones over here are short. These ones are short. This one is a long one. These here are short. This one is a long one. These here are short. And so what you need to do is that you need to pay attention to both the moving average and these lines over here, especially these ones which are long. So let's begin. So the first condition is that the moving average should be between 15 and 0 before you can actually enter a buy. So let's look for that. So let me just scroll. Okay, finally it's here. So as you can see here, okay, the moving average is almost hitting the 0.0 level, and it's between 15 and 0. So that's the first condition. Okay, the other condition before you enter a trade is that the previous line, so the previous line, which is this one long one, should at least pass the 50. Okay, when this happens, you can enter a buy. Okay, so let us say, let me try to scroll again. So let us say over here you wanted to enter a trade. First of all, the line is not below 15 and it's not between 15 and 0, and the previous line did not cross the 50 level, so here wouldn't be a good entry. Okay, how about, so here is a perfect entry because this previous line passed the 50 and the moving average is between 15 and 0. That makes it a perfect entry for you to buy. So now, for how long do you hold? So with this strategy, like if you want to minimize unnecessary spikes, like just buying, let us say, 5 to 10 candles is okay. Okay, unless you know what you're doing. Let's find another good example. Let me just try to scroll. So here is another example. So as you can see over here, the moving average is actually between the 15 and the 0, but this previous line did not cross the 50. So can we buy over here? The short answer is no, you can't buy. Okay, but if you want, you can, but that's just risking very much. Like, try to follow the rules by all means. Okay, so just make sure that you don't enter a trade until all rules or conditions are met. Okay, so if you enter the trade here, okay, here's what would have happened. Okay, so as you can see over here, okay, the spikes continued, so you would have been in losses. So that's why following rules or make sure that conditions are met is always important, just to avoid unnecessary spikes. So make sure that all conditions are met before you can actually enter a trade. So let me look for another perfect last entry before I end the video. So let me just scroll backwards. So here is another example. So on this chart, you can clearly see that the moving average is below 15 and 0. But when you look at the previous line, which is this one over here, did not cross the 50 level. So would you enter a trade over here? The answer is no, you wouldn't. So what happened if you enter the trade here? What if you bought? So here's what would have happened. Let me scroll. Okay, as you can see, most spikes would have took you out of the market. So you would have made the losses. Okay. So this is it about the strategy. So let me just summarize. First thing, make sure that the moving average is between 15 and 0, and make sure that the previous long line, okay, has crossed the 50 level. Then you can enter a trade. So this strategy is for trading against spikes. So when it comes to boom 300, it's actually the opposite. So give it a try and let me know how it goes for you. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends, and don't forget to check out some of my indicators. The link is in the description. Bye for now.